everyone, we are back here at Onkovigyan, and in today's class we will be doing gap filling with clues. So first we see that whenever we need to learn these different types of gap fillings, what is very important is for us to understand these four parts of speeches. Because most of the time, whenever there is a gap with you and in the brackets, if there is any particular word, most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, most of the time, there will be a particular scenario where you have to choose from either whether should we put a noun here or an adjective, or whether should we put an adverb or a verb. So you need to have these four parts of speeches totally clear in your brain so that you can understand that where we can put what of these fill in the blanks. So at first, let's see, dash is important. Let's say in this particular sentence, if in brackets there was the word construct. So construct in itself is a verb, we know, but if it is given in brackets, it's not necessary that you have to use this particular word in the clues as a verb. You can use this particular word in the gap with whatever parts of speech you need. Now you see, whenever this gap is in the beginning, it means that this particular gap requires a subject. So if I have to put a subject in this place, we know for a fact that it needs a noun. So the word construct, if you have to convert it into a noun, it will be construction. So there will be the sentence as follows: construction is important, right? Then in another blank, we see that whenever we need to put an adjective, it's not construct anymore, it's constructive, right? His thinking is dash. An adjective is any word that describes the noun. So in this case, what is the noun? The word thinking. Here the word thinking is the noun. So his thinking is dash, which means that in the dash we have to put that word which is used to describe the noun, which is thinking. So if you want to describe it, what will we put? We will put the word constructive in its place. So therefore it turns into an adjective. Now, for another scenario where there is the usage of an adverb, we need to know that what the adverb actually means. So let's just show this in details. So the word adverb, generally we think that adverb is a word that describes a verb only. But no, we are wrong in this case. An adverb can describe a verb, or an adverb can describe an adjective, or an adverb can describe another adverb. So we need to remember these three things. And what does an adjective describe? An adjective only describes a noun, but an adverb describes these three things. So if there is a verb already present there, then the adverb can in details describe that verb or another adverb as well. So let's continue with this particular example where we see that he thinks dash. In this case, the noun here is he, or we can say this is the pronoun, right? In this case, he is the pronoun. The verb is thinks. And because this is the verb, right after this verb, we need to put such a word that is describing my verb, right? And any word that describes my verb is called an adverb. So we have to put constructively. A lot of people actually misunderstand this, or they consider this to be a stigma that if there is an adverb, there has to be ly right after it. But this is wrong. An adverb does not necessarily need an ly right after it. It can be in many other ways as well. For example, if I say strongly. So in the case of the word strongly, we know that there is ly. But I can also say hard, right? So they are both meaning the same. So therefore we can say that in the case of a verb, if there is any word that you need to describe that verb with, this means that there has to be the usage of an adverb. So the word construct has now been converted to constructively. And finally, if there is any particular word that describes the activity of my job, in that case, I will of course use a verb. So he can dash it. Means what? Means that what can he do? What is his activity? In this case, he can construct it. So if in brackets there is the word construct, then in the same way, in the blank, I will put the word as it is, because in this case it requires a verb. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now, in details, in today's class, we will be learning the rules that we have for nouns. Like in the previous slide, we saw that there are 4 parts of speech that are required to put in these blanks. So, in this class, we will be learning the rules with nouns and adjectives. And in another video, we will be learning the rules with adverb and verb. So, rules with nouns. First of all, if there is a gap in the place of a subject or an object, then it will need a noun. So, after you read the entire sentence, including the gap, you will have to find out that what will the gap actually consist of. If the gap consists of a noun, which means that if it consists of a subject or if it is in the object's place, then we know for sure that there has to be a noun. So in this case, dash is the backbone of a nation. So this means very clearly that there has to be the subject of a sentence, right? So we know that this is a very commonly used proverb, right? A very commonly used saying, which is education is the backbone of a nation. So education is definitely a noun. If in the brackets there was the word educate, then we would convert it to education. Now, we gained dash in 1971. In this case, this word we is the subject here, gained is the verb here, and of course, in this case, we will put the object here. So, what can be the object? We gained freedom in 1971. So, freedom is definitely a noun once again. So, this was rule number 1. Following, in rule number 2, we see a gap after a preposition generally will have a noun. So, right after a preposition, if there is a gap, then most of the time it has a noun, but not always. So, make sure that you look into the word generally very carefully, right? Most of the time, whenever there is a preposition, right after it, if there is a gap, then there will be a noun. The Shahid Minar is the symbol of dash. So, we can say the Shahid Minar is a symbol of, the symbol of the fact that we have achieved our own language, right? Or it's a symbol of sacrifice, right? So in this case, we have put a noun. So what is sacrifice? Sacrifice is a noun. And what type of noun? It is an abstract noun. We have already learned the different types of nouns, right? The cat down the street. So what is this cat? This cat is definitely the subject of the sentence. And what is a cat? What type of noun is a cat? A cat is a common noun, right? So the cat down the street belongs to dash. So belongs to whom? Maybe you need a name of a person. So I can just say because belongs to Sohail. So in this case, what is Sohail? Sohail is a proper noun because it is the name of someone, right? So this is how, whenever, most of the time, if there is a preposition, right after the preposition, there is a noun. Okay, next. Gaps in front of determiners. So what are determiners? So you see here, determiners are 3 types. Either it can be articles. By articles, I know it is a, an, or the. It can be possessives. So what are possessives? His, her, its, their, our, mine. These are all words which mean possessives, right? And prepositions. So we already know what are prepositions: to, for, by, with, within, at, on, in, right? So all of these words are called determiners. Why are they called determiners? Because whenever we put these particular words, it means that I am trying to determine, or I am trying to indicate that this particular noun has this particular feature. If I'm saying that this cat is on top of the table, so here in this case, on the table, the word on is determining the position of the cat. So all of these articles are actually used to particularly say that what is happening here. So they determine any particular feature about the noun. Okay, enough about this. Let's look at rule number 3, which says that whenever there is a determiner, meaning that whenever there is an article, or if there is a possessive, or if there is a preposition, right after that determiner, if there is a gap, then we will use a noun in that gap. Like the dash of forests is dangerous. So the way in which the forests are being cut off, this is very dangerous, right? So we can say the deforestation. Deforestation means whenever in a forest the trees are cut off, this is called deforestation. Or I can just say the removal of forests. The fact that all of the trees are being cut off and removed, this is definitely very dangerous. So we have what? We have a the and then we see a gap. So what is a the? A the is a definite article. So right after this, we have used a noun. We are proud of our dash. So you can say anything. You can say we are proud of our mother. We are proud of our country. We are proud of our language, our freedom, our nation, or of our sister even. So something as simple as that. So we are proud of our, let's say, country. Okay? So in this case, what is the word our? Our in this case is definitely a possessive, right? From we, now we have the word our. Okay. Then, if there is a clue as a word in brackets in the subject or object, then we will use a gerund, which is a verb with ing. So let's at first know what is a gerund in the first place. Whenever there is a verb with ing, do we call it a gerund? No. A gerund is whenever a verb has a particular ing added to it, and also this entire word acts as a noun. So example, if I say, I am cycling with my friends, is this a gerund? No, because even though the word cycle has ing added to it and now it's cycling, so it's a verb with ing, yet it's not a gerund because I am cycling with my friends. In this case, I is the subject, cycling is the verb. But if I want to say it like this, if I want to say that cycling is good for our bodies. So if I want to say something like this, in that case the word cycling becomes what? This is the subject of this sentence, right? So this entire cycling, this word turns into a gerund, okay? So I hope now we know what is a gerund in the first place. So similarly, let's see dash, where in the brackets we see the word walk. Dash is the best exercise. So in the case of walk, what can we say? We will say walking is the best exercise. So walking, the word walking here is a subject. Is our verb. Best is the adjective and exercise is the object, right? So this is an adjective because it is describing our word which is exercise. Then I am aware of his dash. So in this case, once again, what can we do? We can say coming, verb with ing. How does this turn into a noun, you may ask? I, in this case, is our subject. Then aware, I am aware, being aware, this is our verb. Of is a preposition. His is a pronoun or it's a possessive, right? And then this word coming here is my object. So most definitely it is right now a noun, or in this case it is a gerund.